What's on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Ross, I like games, and today I am back with incredibly exciting news for the Transformers trading card game. You see, the other day I showed you Specialist Sandstorm, which was very important because it showed that Wave 4 was seeing a return to triple changes in the Transformers TCG after they took Wave 3 off. Well, not only have our lovely friends over at TFW, seriously check them out, I'll pop a link in the description, those guys are awesome. Not only have they gone and shown us a new triple changer, they had the reveal on this, hence why we need to give them some love, but it's our first ever train. We've never had a train in the Transformers trading card game, ladies and gentlemen. Well, now we do. We're getting a train, and I, for one, am absolutely delighted about this. Now, if we start off having a little bit of a look at the stats, we've got health of 14, which is high, but it is a 12-star character. So it's still high, but it's not phenomenal because, 12-star character. We've got attack of 6 in every mode except Alt 1, where it's 5. And defense of 1 in every mode except for Alt 1, where it's 2. So in Alt Mode 1, you gain yourself a defense, you lose yourself an attack. Seems fair. Though if we compare this to Specialist Sandstorm, it actually comes out a little bit sad. It's 1 star more expensive, and yet it's got lower health, and then it's got 1 higher defense in one mode, but 1 lower attack in the same mode. So it's basically Specialist Sandstorm with lower health at 1 more cost. Better hope the skills are good enough. In bot mode, whenever this has at least 3 upgrades and battles, you get +3 attack and +3 defense until the end of the battle. Now, on the one hand, this is phenomenal. On the other hand, getting 3 upgrades on isn't easy. Now, if you do, you end up with a 9 attack, 4 defense monster. A character that I've talked about a couple of times recently is Blue Streak. And one of the things about Blue Streak is the whole design of the character. You're really good at attacking in one mode and really good at defending in another. And you've got a skill that allows you to flick between them, so you're always in the right mode. And in alt mode, when it's supposed to be really good at defending, it's got defense of 4. Well, you end up here, except in that same mode it's got an attack of 0, you have an attack of 9. You don't see attack of 9 on regular characters. Every so often you see a particularly beefy character like Inferno, for instance, rocking an attack of 8. But you don't really see attack of 9 on regular characters, by which I mean non-Titans, etc. So that's huge. Like, really huge. But you got to get 3 upgrades on. Now, to finish off having a little bit of a look at the skills here, in Alt Mode 1, if you've got at least 1 upgrade and defend, you get +1 defense. Now, bearing in mind, this is the same mode where you get the extra defense anyway. So essentially, if you've got an upgrade on here, you have a defense of 3. But of course, you've got a defense of 3. But it might not be 3. So if you've got any kind of armor on here to give yourself just a little bit of a boost, then you haven't really got a defense of 3. You've got a defense of, sorry if this sounds obvious, more than 3. So let's say for argument's sake you play around with a bit of the old multi-mission gear, and you are a specialist, that's something we're probably going to want to do. Multi-mission gear gives you +1 defense. But because of this, it actually gives you +2 defense. You're sitting there with a defense of 4. That's pretty beefy. And then sitting in Alt Mode 2, when this has at least 2 upgrades and attacks, you get +2 attack until end of turn. So you've got to have 2 upgrades on there, but then you go up to an attack of 8. An 8's pretty gosh darn good, but again, it might not be 8. So let's say for argument's sake you have multi-tool attached, and another upgrade. Well, now all of a sudden you've got an attack of 9. So basically, 1 upgrade defending, Alt Mode 1, 2 upgrades attacking, Alt Mode 2, 3 upgrades no matter what you want to do, you want to end up in bot mode. And I know you do have one extra defense in alt mode 1, but if you've got 3 upgrades on, you are far better off in bot mode, where you will have a defense of 4 before any upgrades, rather than a defense of 3. But the question then becomes, well, alright then, how are we getting the upgrades on? And one of my favourite options here is one that I've already mentioned. It's multi-tool. Multi-tool is an upgrade weapon, and when you put it on a specialist, you may play an upgrade. Well, the good news is in all 3 modes you are a specialist, and that is absolutely huge. And this is how you do it. You get to attach 2 in 1. Now, if you really want to go for it, and I think you should, I think you need to be rocking Field Communicator here as well. Field Communicator is my favourite of the 3. Field Communicator gives +1 attack, it's a utility, and when you put it on a specialist, you scrap the top card of your deck, and then you may play it. So the ideal situation here, and it all depends on what you've got in your hand, but the ideal situation here is you play multi-tool, which lets you play another upgrade. So you play a Field Communicator, which lets you play the top card of your deck, which is an upgrade, and then you can actually have all 3 tools in one go. And of course, you can do this turn 1 going second. Okay, you're only allowed to play an upgrade or an action, but you can do it all in one here. And then all of a sudden, you've got a 9 attack, 4 defense beast of a character. That's pretty awesome. Now, the one thing that does make me a little bit sad about Captain Astro Train here, once you've got the 3 upgrades on, unless you really want to be a train or a spaceship, and you rarely will, more on that in a moment, you're just going to want to be in bot mode, if I'm honest with you. Because you get the best bonus. If you've got 3 upgrades, you've got higher attack in bot mode than in alt mode 2. If you've got 3 upgrades, you've got a higher defense in bot mode than you have in alt mode 1. There really is almost no point being in any other mode, other than if you want to be a spaceship or train. More on those in a minute. If this wasn't a specialist, I really would be far less in favour of it. But it is a specialist, and that makes a huge difference. Being able to use those specialist upgrades means that you can accelerate upgrades on there faster than you usually would, and at that stage, I'm absolutely loving it. Of course, the other thing we could play around with a little bit here is the action card New Designs. New Designs allows you to play an upgrade, and again, you can play a New Designs off of a multi-mission gear, so it doesn't have to be your action for the turn. You can play multi-mission gear, then immediately play it, and then play another upgrade. The other card we really need to remember here is Treasure Hunt. Treasure Hunt is a beautiful card here. It lets you scrap the top 4 cards of your deck and put all upgrades scrapped this way into your hand. So it's a very good option for getting them in the early game. The other one I adore here is Metal Detector. Now, it does have a black icon for Pierce, but far more importantly, it has a green icon here, meaning if you flip it while attacking or defending, you can swap a card in your hand for it, and that means that you can then guarantee to have this. You attach it as a utility, so yes, it would take the place of Field Communicator, and then when you attack, you reveal the top card of your deck. If it's an upgrade, you may play it. So it allows you to cheat the extra upgrade on there. So this is a really good option. And I feel like I'm mentioning a whole bunch of cards that I was lucky enough to reveal in this video. Sorry about that. But I've got to mention one more here. Megatron Arrogant Ruler. Because what you really want to do here is play an upgrade heavy deck with those tricks for attaching extra upgrades, so that you essentially end up with a 12-star character, but with 9 attack, 4 defense, 14 health. And as a side note here, do consider playing Energy Pack, because Energy Pack will give you an extra 4 health, at which point you're sitting there with a stat line of 9, 18, 4, which is over the top. Alright, you have slightly less health, but other than that, it's better than Dreadwing, who is a 2-bot combiner that costs 16 stars together, and you have to combine. So frankly, ladies and gentlemen, this is an insane stat line. It's phenomenal. So Megatron then. Why do I like Megatron so much? Megatron here, in alt mode, when you flip to it, you may play an upgrade. You need to get the upgrades on. That's the key to Astro Train. Get the upgrades on. And when you're attacking in bot mode, you may scrap an upgrade from your hand if you do draw 2 cards. Fact of the matter is, you're going to be playing an upgrade anyway. You're going to be playing a lot of them, so you're going to be able to use this skill more often than not. Now, they are actually both Decepticon leaders here, and that opens us up to a bit of the old Callous Leadership. Callous Leadership lets you move 5 damage counters from a Decepticon leader that has 8 stars or more to one of your other characters. Use this to heal off Astro Train. Astro Train is going to be the key. Whatever deck you play it in, Astro Train is going to be the key to said deck. So using Callous Leadership to heal him off is going to be great. Now, in terms of extra tricks as a spaceship, you do have Unconventional Flying Object here, which flip one of your spaceships to bot mode, then flip it back to alt mode. Okay? Doesn't do anything here, unfortunately. You flick into bot mode, but then you flick back into alt mode. Now, I believe in bot mode we're talking static skill here, i.e. you only get it when you are in bot mode. We'll have to double check that, but I don't think it would apply. You'd go back to alt mode. And as for trains, this is the first train we've ever seen, and I'm delighted that we've got a train. It makes me very happy, but you don't get a bonus for being a train. There are no train-specific cards. We're still waiting on a helicopter card. Though apparently in an interview, we were told that, or somebody was told by Wizards, that there is going to be a helicopter helping card in this set, and then we can all go immediately from helicopters need love to trains need love. But Astro Train's already got a lot of love. The stats are okay. The skills are good once you can get upgrades on. If you can get upgrades on, the stats become phenomenal, and because you're a specialist, that's made so much easier. As a side note here, if you play Astro Train with Megatron, then you're going to have 3 stars left over, which isn't really enough to put in any bots, but it is enough for 3 copies of Leap of Faith, which plays the top 2 cards of your deck, which is going to make it easier to get upgrades out. Seriously, I think there is a way you can build this to consistently get free upgrades on quickly, and if you do, I'm excited. But I'd like to know what you think about this, ladies and gentlemen, so go nuts in the comment section, but be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at the Wossy. That's where we talk about games like Transformers and any others that take our fancy. And do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts, etc. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time. Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching Wossy Plays.